Oh, finally. Oh, God. Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another video. My name's Ankify, and I'm finally able to talk about this. Oh, God. Anyway, before I divulge any information and I talk about my whole new founding of myself, finding the big piece puzzle of the puzzle, about my being and, knowing more. Um, First, let me show the microphone because I want to show off that, and that took me a exasperating long amount of time, actually, a very surprising amount of time, actually, to set up. So I want to show that off really quickly. Let me roll up the thing, and there we go. There we are. There's a microphone. Now I know. Horrible cable management. I mean, there's a little Velcro strap in the background that's able to hold it. So that's the one good thing, of that whole scenario. But I would say it's like relatively okay. And what's funny about that is essentially I tried to get it earlier. Well, I wanted to make this video much more earlier actually, because I tried to be able to get this new microphone early, but then I realized that there wasn't actually a stand. So what happened was afterwards is that actually that's going to be a bit annoying when that's there. What happened afterwards is that I had to order a new stand, so I had to make two other videos before I wanted to make this initial video. So this was like, I wanted to make this like before the try not to laugh video, if that makes sense. But anyway, finally I get to talk about it. So, to give context, anyway, on the 24th of January, I went into my I have a psychologist, well, I had a psychologist that assessed me, and months prior to that meeting, I had to answer a bunch of questionnaires, I had to communicate, I had to talk about this scenario, give case and examples of my previous time in different schools, and in secondary school, primary school, and then, other educational institutions such as sixth form, college, such as that, as well as present time. And all the way leading up to that amount of time, going forward to the 24th of January, which was the conclusion day for my final time assessment. I got diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia, and oh man, one hell of a thing. One hell of a thing, and oh god, it makes so much sense as well when I had that full assessment. Because to just give context of the whole scenario, when I was very young, I didn't really confine to normal like social norms, if that makes sense. I was always like very energetic, uh, always very energetic. Uh, Climbed on very vertical walls that didn't make any sense that I was able to actually climb on. My family and everyone around me was just like always looking at me because of caution, very cautious eyes, because I was just running around everywhere. And then when it got to a stage where like I got to more like to secondary school, that's when it started to be like more obvious. So, for example, like I didn't mind speaking to people. I got very used to just like being very talkative. Even though even today anyway, I still get confused with social cues. It's still a scenario where, I got that kind of difficulty. And it was also a case, lots of different cases actually, that I had focusing issues as well, and my reading was very below average. And I noticed that my reading was below average even before being told about me being dyslexic, because before that time, I had like, well, I had extra time for my exams because they didn't put a proper label on what I had before. But it was more to just like, okay, you have learning difficulties and you have this, so we'll just give you extra time and some support, and that's it. Now, um, I always noticed, even, well, now and then as well, I always noticed that people were always going before exams. And I was like, oh, why is people going so much quicker? Because every single time I just did my exam, it's just, I'm reading as fast as I can, I'm thinking as fast as I can, and then when I look up, I just see people just going, and I'm always the last one that, like, in the exam hall, and I'm like, how are people this quick? Like, what is going on? I'm doing it as fast as I can. I'm reading as fast as I can. I'm focusing as hard as I can. And even within that time, my attention just diverts, and I'm just like, what am I doing like wrong here? What is going on in this scenario? So, of course, like, there was an issue and problem that I figured out, and now I managed to get a hold of a proper psychologist. A wonderful person, very experienced in their field, like absolutely an amazing individual. I won't name the person or say anything, but absolutely an amazing individual. And then when we got to the stage of the final assessment and just talking about it, and going through like many different kinds of tests, I then got concluded with ADHD and dyslexia. Man. And it is, it's something. I mean, at this stage of my life, it's like finally, like finally I found this piece about myself. Finally I got to know something about me. And finally I got to know why such a exasperating life that I've had, well, not, well, to that degree, it's not like hard, but at times it's just been like very hard. Well, how do I word this? It's been very hard, but it hasn't been as hard because I got support, and it's good to identify support, and I'm very happy I identified that quite early on in my life. But it was good to kind of just like be able to finally see what I can get. Of course, me being in different and early stages of my life caused a lot of bullying. I'm no stranger to being like kicked, beaten, called many different names, over the moon, being called worthless, being called strange, being alienated by many different people. Oh God, and that was a hell of a scenario. But then, like, at the same time, like, oh God, I managed to see such amazing people just help me and support me, and it's just wonderful to see that, just absolutely wonderful to just see like that kind of side of people. So, yeah, that's why and now in my current stage of life, being assessed in the 24th of January and being able to know what I can get help with and being able to understand more of myself, not tyrannize myself whenever I need to do work. Well, I still tyrannize myself. Well, not, I do it more as like a prompt now. But now it's more like, instead of tyrannizing myself, I now understand that I can give myself time. And that's something that's very valuable. And that's something that mentally as well is such a good thing. So I'm very happy that finally I'm able to provide that for myself. But man, it's amazing. But yeah, my reaction, oh my God. I'm so happy that I'm finally able to just like, okay, I know what I can have help now. I know exactly what I can be able to like focus on. I know exactly like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can make this goal, I can make that goal, and just be actually finally be able to focus more, which I really need. And a really interesting thing about as well is that I'm such a goal orientated individual. Like I want to do so many different things that it's just like, okay, I want to do, let's say, like make my business, for example. I want to do that. I want to get my degree. I want to then get this thing. I want to achieve this. I want to help people in this scenario. Like, I want to do so much. And having ADHD and having dyslexia is such a, again, it's an exasperating feeling. But then again, now that I know I have this problem, I then can be able to help myself in such a much more healthier way. I'm so happy I can do that. To you watching right there, right now, you might presume that I don't like to read. Well, no, I actually really love to read. Even though, yes, I read unbelievably slow, and at times, yeah, I might need to like read a page maybe like 3 or 4 times. But at the same time, God, reading is so good. Like, you get to, when you read and you just sit down and you really listen to the story that someone has, it's so good to actually just, like, understand their, the reasoning of why they believe this is something good enough to, like, write in a book. And that alone is just absolutely amazing. Like, for example, like right here, a book made by Jordan B. Peterson, An Anecdote to Chaos. Well, 12 Rules for Life and Antidote to Chaos is the full title. But at the same time, like, yeah, it has the very high level of words in here. And sometimes I might need to even go and research them myself to understand what he's talking about. But at the same time, this is a really good book. And yeah, it takes a while for me to read. But at the same time, it's such a good book. And it keeps me engaged. I love it. And it's just amazing to just be able to like really like take the time to read it. But yeah, no, I just wanted to make this video and just talk about it. I had to just bottle up my feelings for like such a long time to just make it because, well, first of all, I wanted to get this microphone to then be able to talk about it. I don't know how the mic quality is going to be really, if I'm going to be honest with you. Probably is not going to be the best, but I wanted to get this mic anyway because I know it's like a really good mic in the market anyway. And then just project it to you guys that's watching right now. So that's the reason why I bought this mic. But it's fantastic, man. It's amazing. Like life is so full of different things, and of course there's bad sides. There's horrible people at times. There's amazing people at times, and there's some people at the same time that you just see, and you meet them once, and then you don't see them again. And you know what? That is completely fine, because then you can go ahead, improve your character. You yourself as well. You just have like your own like cultural backgrounds. You have your likes, your dislikes. You have things that you're good at and things you're just terrible at, and you have your strengths and weaknesses and your disadvantages. And it is so fun to just meet people and learn about that. And that's why when I say I want to make the world a better place, I mean it. Like, I want to make a business that can help other people in their daily lives, and I want to be able to see what I can do to help other people. And I really mean that. I really, really mean that when I say that I want to do that, and I want to be able to actually, like, make a difference in people's lives. Because many people deserve it. Many people do. And many people go through a lot. Actually, in some ways, many people go through a lot of what you do as well, in some transferable sense, but a lot of people do as well. And you realize that when you talk to many different people, and that is absolutely amazing, and it makes me feel not alone. And that loneliness can occur in a very big sense when you don't speak to people. But when you speak to people, oh man, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I just wanted to just blare out my entire thing in this video for just to say this. And it honestly, it just makes me more happy to go through the entire rest of the year and see, like, excitedly to see what else that can happen in this year. And I feel like it'll be fantastic, honestly. I feel like it'll be absolutely amazing. It'll be fantastic, and I can't wait. Anyway, so final notes. I guess, like, I can to you wonderful people out there that also, you know, face many different things, or also have ADHD or dyslexia, or maybe even a different kinds of disability. Maybe, like, you might have autism, you might have dyspraxia, dyscalculia, you might have Downing syndrome or Kevlar syndrome or whatever else. You can be fantastic. You know, you can be amazing. And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. If you don't believe that you can be fantastic and you can be great wherever you go to, I believe you can. And I mean it. I really do mean it. Because, man, trying to really improve yourself and do something that you love and do something that is considered really hard for you, but you do it anyway because you know it'll improve yourself, that is just the hero story in itself, basically. If you think about it, it is the hero story. And I firmly believe that you are amazing if you do that. And I still believe you're amazing. But you are amazing if you try something that's just absolutely difficult. And you are your own hero if you do it. So, my final notes and my own advice that I guess I would just give in general for everybody. It doesn't mean if you're disadvantaged or not disadvantaged, but just for the wonderful people that's already watching this video at home. First advice, contextualize your speech, because when you contextualize it, the world will listen to you. You know, because whatever you say goes into the world listens. And then that's when you can have a reaction to many different things. You know, you could make friends, you could network, you can have a bad experience or good experience whenever you say something that is congenial or not congenial, or something that's just horrible or really good. So if you contextualize your speech, you can change the world. The second advice I would give, be with congenial company. Be with people that support you. Be with people that you know would be a really good asset to you. And I don't mean this in a sense where it's like a black and white. I'm a very black and white person. But I don't mean this in a sense where, like, you shouldn't see it as only an asset or liability. But really identify those factors with different people. And the third advice I would give is just keep going. Even though if it's difficult, keep going. You know, because if you keep trying over and over again, eventually you will get somewhere. And I firmly believe you'll get somewhere absolutely amazing to where you were before. And with that just concludes this video. So I hope you wonderful people that watch this video have a great day, have a great time, have a great Monday as well, because I'm releasing this on a Monday. And until then, see you next time. Take care.